Hello everyone. I wanted to make a weird sort of historical video today. We're going to talk about something very strange, right? What if little tiny Lichtenstein, it's called the Principality of Liechtenstein, bought Alaska? Now hear me out. Back, I believe during I think it was 1865, I'm not 100% certain on the year, there was a Russian empire trying to sell this big piece of land called Alaska. What we refer to today as the state of Alaska. It was the District of Alaska, then the Territory of Alaska, then, the state of Alaska. So obviously there was a few changes along its political path to becoming a state. But besides that, right, I would say, like, let's hypothetically say there's a timeline out there where little Liechtenstein buys Alaska. What would happen? So we're just gonna go off of what we know, right? There was a few Russian explorers in Alaska. I actually do think so, like, because Liechtenstein was rich enough to buy Alaska off of Russia, and Russia was literally willing to just take it off of anything, really. Um, it'd be very interesting historical time. I haven't read a lot about it, so it's not in any of these books I have. That's why I want to make a video on it. What would happen? Would they be able to colonize Alaska? No, absolutely not. Liechtenstein does not nearly have the manpower, nor the population, nor the army to go and take out all the wilderness of Alaska. There's no way. The natives would probably have a much better life, maybe in this alternate timeline. Although you could argue that maybe they, I don't know, the Liechtensteiners would probably find Russians or Americans or Canadians, and they would go up there into Alaska. Again, it's like, how do we know what would happen, But in my alternate timeline, basically a bunch of German speakers go up to Alaska, and Liechtenstein is the weirdest country in the world, where the capital's in the middle of Europe, this little tiny dot, and then all of Alaska, so big. And it's just like such an interesting departure of our own modern timeline. And like, the country will probably be called like Liechtenstein, Alaska, or something. Or I don't even know if Alaska was the name back then, but they call it Russian America. So maybe they call it Liechtenstein America or something weird like that. So that would be the alternate timeline. I thought I thought people would find this video quite interesting. If you don't like this video, it's fine. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. But yeah, just the ideal that this little tiny country of like 30,000 people. I think back then it only had 10,000 people. Little tiny country of 10,000 people bought this huge giant landmass that's like the size of like a quarter of a continent and doesn't even know how to colonize it. That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. But obviously the Russians sold to the United States because we're more stable, and they were going to get more money from the United States, so that's what happened. It's just it's kind of a boring and sad timeline, in my opinion. It would have been way funnier if Liechtenstein bought it, although we all know what would happen. It probably would have joined Canada anyway. But anyway, you are someone, I'm someone else, talking about weird North American history. Goodbye.